Hello, welcome back to a new video, guys. Today we have a special one. We're going to be showing you just some of the best gameplay that we had facing against top minor control decks or any type of minor decks in Ultimate Champion in Clash Royale. We have some of the best tips and tricks. The first deck is going to be against this minor Mega Knight Zap Bait kind of deck. The second one is the typical minor Bats Wall Breakers Firecracker kind of deck, and the third one is a minor Mortar deck. So just stay tuned if you want to learn the best ways how to beat Mortar if you're playing 2.6 Hog Rider. I think it's a great deck to use to pick up. I think it's great if you're starting out. I think it's great if you've been playing this game forever. I think it's a deck that has survived the majority of the balance changes that this game has actually gone through, and it never fails to surprise. I think it has one of the highest skill ceilings that you will see in the decks currently, meaning that if you pick it up, you learn all the different interactions and become a master at it, you will be unstoppable. I don't know if you guys remember a guy called Oyasu who became like the best in the world because he played 2.6 Hog Rider and he was extremely good at it. So yeah, we'll be showing you this first gameplay against the minor Mega Knight. So first of all, at the start of the game, the first 2 minutes, what you want to do is first of all get your cycle straight. What this means is you don't want to waste too much elixir. You want to wait until double elixir, which is when you can do the most damage. You want to learn what card he's going to use, what cards he usually uses to defend, how to counter his pushes. Save, for example, your Musketeer and your Ice Golem for his Mega Knight pushes, or identify the main threats that his deck has. In this case, we know that his main threats are, of course, the Mega Knight, the Skeleton Barrel, and the Inferno Dragon, because if that locks into our tower, it's going to be very hard to actually go back on top. So once you learn the basic dangers that his deck has, you want to play accordingly. For example, the Mega Knight is his main counter to our Hog Rider. So what we want to do is get his Mega Knight outside of cycle. So for example, make him wasted in a Hog Rider push and then drop a Hog Rider when he does not have that primary defense for it. For example, here you can see that incredible prediction log with the Hog Rider, because we knew that he didn't have his Mega Knight and his only other counter to our Hog Rider was that Goblin Gang. And here that Hog is just going to finish out the game. So the first tip and main trick that I want you to learn is to memorize what kind of cards your opponent has. You don't have to memorize all the cards, you just need to know the most dangerous ones, which are, for example, the cards that fully counter your Hog Rider, or the cards that are the most dangerous to take your towers out. For example, in this second game against the minor control, which has Bomb Tower, Bats, Firecracker, Wall Breakers, you want to learn a few cards. First one, the Firecracker, because when she's evolved, she does so much damage. Second, the combo of Bats and Minor. You always want to have something for that. And third one, the Wall Breakers. Those are his three main damaging combos, because a Minor left alone at the tower does not deal that much damage. You can just counter it with skeletons and you'll be fine. Then you want to also memorize at his cycle when he has his Bomb Tower, because that is his main way of actually defending your Hog pushes. On the right side, you can see that he spent a lot of cards to get his cycle right to drop a Bomb Tower on our Hog Rider, but now he doesn't have it in cycle anymore. So what we should be attempting to do is cycle back to a Hog Rider, if we can, of course, if he doesn't attack, and attack now that he doesn't have that in hand, to see how he defends our Hog pushes when he doesn't have a Bomb Tower. So here you can see he uses three cards. He used Bats, Log, and Ice Spirit. In this game as well, you want to, first of all, in single elixir, just learn those cards, see how he counters your Hog normally, and how he counters your Hog if he doesn't have his main counter. Against this deck that has Firecracker as well, you have to aim to activate your King Tower as soon as possible. This guy's playing is very smart, since he hasn't used almost any Firecrackers until now. He's used one, which is extremely good, because when he plays against our deck, against 2.6, he has a very high probability of winning the game. because he just has almost as a counter to our deck. However, if he activates his king tower, or our king tower, the probabilities of him winning against our deck decrease by a lot. So he's been really smart in not playing many firecrackers. However, there he messed up, since his firecracker evolution, he actually wasted it as he let our musketeer get a lot of value by defending them. Here he comes with his big push, and we actually do not defend it. We defend it well, but the bats get a lot of damage on our tower. So we go again with another push, and of course, as always, he is back to his bomb tower. In this case, to get away from his bomb tower, one thing that you also want to do is change sides. Not be too predictable with the sides you're attacking, being open to attacking both sides, and just trying to confuse him onto which side he is going to have to waste the bomb tower on. See, for example, here we put the Ice Spirit on the right side so that he would think that we were going to go to the right side, and then we Hog Rider the left side. And now look at our cycle. It's so quick that we actually got on another Hog Rider, and now we're going to see how he defends our Hog Rider when he doesn't have his bomb tower. We knew that he defended with bats and log and everything, so we were prepared with our Fireball to kill the bats. And look at how much VAT damage we actually dealt just by knowing what card he was going to place to defend us and using the prediction spell to actually take it down. Now we go with a Hog Rider on the left side, and he is extremely smart to not use his bomb tower and instead save it for next time. We're going to Fireball his whole supporting units, which is a very good Fireball because it gives us a lot of value, and we're just gonna defend the miner. As you can see, this game has gotten a lot easier once we actually got our king tower activated. This is due to the fact that his miners are now not that dangerous. Now we only have to focus against his cards such as the bats, the wall breakers, and of course, the evolved firecrackers. But you can see, meanwhile, on the right side, we're using a lot of prediction spells to take down the bomb towers and actually let the Hog Rider get some hits on his towers. We're actually managing to outcycle the bomb towers, and when we're not, we're actually fireballing them or logging them to get some value. And look at that, you just win by that. You win by, first of all, playing a very good defense, learning your opponent's cards, seeing how you can actually counter them, or how you can avoid his defenses, and once you have that learned, managing to break through them. For example, using prediction spells on his towers, on his cards that you know he's going to play, and just defending extremely well, taking advantage of his weak points of his deck. Now we're going to play against Mortar, a minor mortar poison controlled deck. A lot of people struggle against this. Why? Because many players use this deck by using the mortar as the defensive unit. As you can see by this play right now, he places a mortar, which is not the best placement because he should have aimed to hit our tower or threaten us with the mortar, and then he plays some goblins to defend us. So in this game, we're actually gonna have to outcycle his mortar and then try to log his goblins. You can see that we actually defended his musketeer with a fireball. We were going to defend it with skeletons, but we thought he was going to prediction log, so we didn't really want to risk it. Now we're going to go with another Hog Rider push to see how he can defend us when he doesn't have his mortar in cycle. You can see that we wasted a lot of elixir and our hog still got one hit. But now he instantly goes for a mortar as a form of a counter push. We're going to go with a musketeer and an ice golem to kite the knight towards the musketeer. He doesn't waste that much of elixir because he's once again just checking us out, seeing how we play, what kind of cards we have to defend his pushes and what kind of cards we have to attack. I prediction logged because I thought he was going to goblins, but he actually read kind of what our play was going to be, and he decided to just play a knight. Here he defends with goblins, and our hog gets a hit, which is very positive. I believe here we're going to fireball again, yeah, but then we're going to need some skeletons or something to just take out the musketeer, which is pretty good. In this deck, we don't have a way of activating his king towers, so his miners are going to be a lot more effective than in other games. But look at this, whenever he plays mortar, you just place an ice golem on the other side, then a cannon in case he's supporting his cards, and if it's an evolution, I usually like to play it safe and play a Hog Rider, just because it assures that you're going to get away with it and he's not going to get too much damage, or he's not going to get the mortar to lock onto the tower. But if it's a normal mortar, you can pretty much get away with just playing an ice golem that goes the other way, playing a musketeer or a cannon, and just a fireball and a log should get the job done. However, since we're really ahead in damage, we know that we just have to defend properly, which is why we're actually spending Hog Riders on to defend his mortars. Again here, he's actually wasting a lot of elixir defending our Hog Riders with mortars plus goblins and then using miners to get some chip damage to our towers, so we've actually effectively outcycled his mortar. Here we go with the Hog Rider Ice Golem push. The Ice Golem death damage should kill all the bats, which is extremely positive for us, and the Golem is going to get 1, 2, and almost 3 hits in the tower. I think here we're going to Fireball the Musketeer and the tower to let our Musketeer kill his Musketeer as well. And this is just, you have to play very calm, not get stressed out, knowing always what to do and how to defend his push more or less. And in case you have to overextend or overspend on defense, if you're ahead in damage, it's the best thing you can do. It saves you from a headache, saves you from losing a lot of the advantage you have already built. And for example, right here, I think we're going to Fireball the Musketeer because we just don't want to deal with it in a way that can actually get complicated to us. So again, we kite the mortar, we put a cannon, a Musketeer, and then just in case we will Hog Rider, I believe. So yes, there it is. So you can see that slowly but surely we're actually winning this game, and then that prediction, those prediction spells are insane to actually win us the game in the following rounds. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and leave a comment on what you want to see next. Subscribe to not miss out on further content, and thank you. I'll see you in the next one.